just in the process of sending out a manuscript that I've been working on. I've just been thinking about how great literature can be to connect people. The book's about contemporary masculinity, so a kind of contemporary version of The Catcher in the Rye. It's about a young boy navigating adolescence in our contemporary culture. So I gave one of the much earlier manuscripts to a friend at university, and she came back and had so much to say about this particular scene. It's kind of a weird scene. The hero, James, is looking back at some sort of moments in his childhood. And there's this one memory that he has of being 6 years old and sitting on the supermarket floor, and while his mum does the shopping, and he's flicking through a magazine to the back, where they used to have in the early 2000s, I don't know if they still have them, but those tiny little thumbnail pictures of naked women, and then a number saying like, call this number for XXX chat. And anyway, James is sitting there like licking these photos. And I gave the manuscript to a friend. And this scene sort of sparked memories of some weird stuff that she did as a kid. So I think she had this story of her taking some steaks. I don't know if it was a routine thing, I can't remember. And I'm going to ask her before I put this out if she's okay with it. Of her taking some steaks and going behind some kind of vending machine in the swimming pool or shopping centre, and she's like just playing with the steaks, like, and she used to be quite obsessive about this process. Just this weird shit that you do as a kid when you're stumbling around in the darkness of coming to terms with hormones and sexuality, and you have no idea what's going on. And I just love this lesson that sharing my manuscript early on taught me. The power of kind of sharing of a vulnerable element of your life with someone else, and the reaction that you get from that. Because we all have these bizarre stories as children when we are fumbling around in the dark trying to find answers to things that we can't really talk to people about. So we're just trying to do our best, or we're rather acting upon impulses we don't understand. There's this distance between people that exists because of the social framework in which we exist and these facades that we put on. And when you share something like that, a story like that, it triggers the same thing in the other person. And that distance between you two kind of collapses. Stephen Fry, when he came to talk at the Oxford Union, talked about how there's nothing like the experience of reading and feeling as if the author is reaching out and holding the hand inside you. And I feel like that's what happens when you share these kinds of stories. It opens up this Pandora's box of madness and oddity that exists within all of us. And within that space, you can have some kind of authentic connection through that vulnerability. There's a really nice scene in the Before trilogy. So it's Jesse and Celine, and they're talking, and Celine says something like, "If there's meaning in life, then it exists within the space between us two."
You know, I believe if there's any kind of God, it wouldn't be in any of us. Not you or me, but just this little space in between. If there's any kind of magic in this world, it must be in the attempt of understanding someone, sharing something.
I just liked that thought and wanted to share it. So wish me luck with the manuscript. I will manifest now that this book will be more successful than The Catcher in the Rye when it is released. I'll put that into the universe. Now, let's go get this video 20 views.